أهلا وسهلا مشاهدينا الكرام في هذا الحوار الخاص الذي نستضيف فيه سعادة السفير الفنلندي السيد بيكا هيفونان للحديث عن العلاقات الثنائية بين البلدين وسبل تعزيز التعاون في مختلف المجالات. أهلا وسهلا سعادة السفير، شكرا على حسن الاستضافة.
أهلا وسهلا ياسمينة. It's a pleasure, great pleasure.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. مر أكثر من 60 عاما من العلاقات الثنائية بين فنلندا والجزائر، وتعد فنلندا من أول الدول التي اعترفت باستقلال الجزائر، كان ذلك في 2 جويلية 1962. كيف تصفون واقع العلاقات الثنائية بين الجزائر وفنلندا؟
Thank you for the question. The diplomatic relations and all other relations with Finland and Algeria are excellent. We have been historically good friends, and Finland was among the first countries that recognized Algeria after the declaration of independence on the 5th of July 1962. And this beautiful house where we are in, we bought it in September 1962 already to open our embassy. And you might know that this is a old property of the last Queen of Madagascar, Rana Valona III, who had this built in 1909 when she was ousted from her own country, Madagascar, by the French colonialists. And then she moved here to Algiers and built this beautiful house. And we are now the happy owners of this house. So the history is very good. We have been selling forest products to Algeria for something like 160 years. But now we want to diversify our relations and on all levels, and we have also the Algerian embassy in Helsinki. We are cooperating together and working for the best of our bilateral relations.
ما هي أولويات فنلندا لتعزيز التعاون الثنائي على الصعيدين الإقليمي والدولي؟
Well, I would say first and foremost, we would like to develop our economic relations, our commercial relations. This is when I discuss with the Algerian ministers, or when I had chance to meet with His Excellency, your President, Tebboune. It always comes back that you should do more business, and I very much agree. So this is something that is our first priority, to try to raise the interest of Finnish companies to come do business with Algerian companies and invest in Algeria. But then, of course, we share many issues, political issues. We have excellent political relations. And also, we are very much interested in the regional role Algeria is playing in this region, North Africa, but also Sahel area. So this is very important for us.
التي قام بها وزير الخارجية الجزائري السيد أحمد عطاف لهلسنكي، ما هي أبرز مخرجات هذه اللقاءات الثنائية؟
His Excellency Ahmed Attaf, the Foreign Minister of Algeria, visited Finland 24th of April 2025. So this year, a couple of months ago. That was not his first visit. He had been to Finland before. And of course, our minister has been to Algeria. Well, we shared our common values. We shared our history. We shared our good relations and tried to make it better, promote the better relations all the time. There were shared interests. There were exchange of views on regional issues, what's going on in Europe, particularly for Finland. We are very concerned about the Russian aggression. Yeah. And then of course we are also very concerned about the Sahel area. So there were many points of common interest, and of course Finland is a member of the European Union. Also European Union Algeria relations were discussed. But then also Finland and Algeria, we are peace-loving countries.
Yes.
So we have been very active in peace mediation. So we also discussed these issues. How could we improve our cooperation in peace mediation, and what could we do more to prevent wars and conflicts?
Yeah. تعد العلاقات الاقتصادية والتجارية من أبرز السمات الأساسية لأي تعاون ثنائي. ووفقا لتقرير هيئة الأمم المتحدة لعام 2024 بلغ حجم التبادل التجاري بين فنلندا والجزائر ما يقارب 171 مليون دولار، حيث صدرت فنلندا إلى الجزائر ما قيمته 161 مليون دولار مقابل 9.9 مليون دولار من الواردات الجزائرية. سعادة السفير، رغم العلاقات الدبلوماسية الوطيدة إلا أن حجم التبادل التجاري لا يزال محدوداً. ما هي القطاعات التي ترون فيها فرصاً واعدة للنمو المشترك؟
This is true. There's always room for increasing our bilateral trade. And we don't buy any more hydrocarbons, energy from Algeria. So we have to find other means of importing from Algeria. Agricultural products is one, phosphates is one. So we have to try to find new sectors of import. And the same is from our exports to Algeria.
Yeah.
We try to diversify from our forestry products to other fields as well. But this is a difficult task because Finland is not very well known in Algeria, and otherwise also Algeria is not very well known in Finland. So we really have to work for the Finnish and Algerian companies to find one another.
هل هنالك شركات فنلندية تنشط أو تخطط للاستثمار في السوق الجزائرية، خاصة في مجالات الطاقة المتجددة، الاقتصاد الدائري أو الرقمي؟
The sectors that you mentioned are very much interesting and kind of a modern. This is exactly those sectors where we would like to see more trade and investments happening between our two countries. I would take as a reference two examples of investments. First and foremost is Sampo Algeria, which is manufacturing harvesters, moissonneuses-batteuses, in Sidi Bel Abbès. That has been working for 15 years. And they are manufacturing almost all harvesters, these big machines that work in the fields in Algeria. And then the second one is Iris Tires in Sétif. There you have a Finnish company called Black Donuts. And Black Donuts is giving the know-how, the technological transfer to Iris Tires to manufacture the best tires, car tires that you can find in the Algerian market. We just witnessed a doubling of the production from 2 million tires to 4 million tires with a new chain of manufacturing. These are excellent examples. They are working very well, and we really work hard to get more companies to invest in Algeria. Agence Algérien pour Promotion des Investissements, API, visited Finland September last year and meeting with many different Finnish companies, Valmet, Nokia, Wärtsilä, all the big companies in Finland. And then we expect that these negotiations would result to more investments in Algeria. And of course, we would very much welcome also Algerian investments in Finland. And this is particularly in those sectors that you mentioned. But I mean, it's always up to the companies to decide what is regarding their business, what is good, and what do they want to do. So basically, we Algeria, Finland, we create the conditions for good conditions for investments, for making trade, and then it's the companies that can do the work.
Yeah. وبهذا مشاهدينا الكرام نصل إلى فاصل قصير، سنعود وإياكم بعد قليل. مرحبا بكم مجددا مشاهدينا الكرام في هذا اللقاء الخاص مع سعادة السفير الفنلندي السيد بيكا هيفونان. تحدثنا سابقا عن العلاقات السياسية والاقتصادية، الآن سنمر للحديث عن التبادل العلمي والتكنولوجي بين البلدين. تعد فنلندا من الدول الرائدة في مجال الابتكار. سعادة السفير، هل هنالك برامج تعاون حالية أو مستقبلية لدعم التحول الرقمي في الجزائر؟
Yes, indeed, innovation is something that all countries try to make, and we would be happy to work together with Algeria in that regard. There are no specific programs for the time being developed on these issues, on technologies, on innovation. But this is something that where we regard that the companies should work together, and the Finnish companies are always happy to join their forces with the Algerian companies and find be it innovations on digitalization, artificial intelligence, renewable energies. There are very different sectors where we could work together. One thing that perhaps I should say also when going around in Algeria is the waste management. And waste management is something where Finland has developed a lot of what we call the circular economy, which means that actually there's no waste. You can use the material anew, and it gets profitable. So this is one area where we should and could work in the future.
ما هي فرص التعاون في مجالات الزراعة الذكية والمستدامة؟ وهل هنالك شركات فنلندية تنشط في هذا المجال بالجزائر؟
Yes, earlier I mentioned already Sampo, Algeria, which is making the harvesters, but of course also other agrotech opportunities are there. And then I would like to mention actually two sectors. And the other one is concerning a circular economy, that you have lots of agricultural waste, but you could use it otherwise. You could make biofuels of our agricultural waste. And then the other sector where we are very skilled, even if we have 180,000 lakes and we have a lot of fresh water, we know how to use water in a economic way. So there are many Finnish companies who have developed technologies of saving water and using as little as water as possible in the agriculture. So that is one field of cooperation where I think that we could work together.
كيف ترون إمكانيات التعاون في مجالات الذكاء الاصطناعي، البنية التحتية والاتصالات؟
Well, I just met with your Minister of Telecommunications, Mr. Seruki, and we have Nokia is very active in this field. So in the field of telecommunications, I think there is already a lot of opportunities. We are talking about the fifth generation of mobile technology, and there Finland, the Finnish companies could be of assistance to Algeria when you start with the 5G. On artificial intelligence, I think there's really many opportunities of working on artificial intelligence, and but that goes then to different sectors where you can use it. Energy is one thing. Finland is very skilled on energy efficiency, and that's where artificial intelligence could be used very well.
هل يمكن أن نطلع على مشاريع بحث علمي وتكنولوجي مشتركة بين الجامعات الفنلندية والجزائرية؟
Actually, we have already in the field of meteorology. We have had a project with the Finnish and Algerian meteorology agencies. But of course, there are also other opportunities. One sector where I think we could work together more is in the field of mining. And for instance, geological survey is an issue where Finns are extremely skilled. And also, we know that Algeria is really Africa's biggest country, and you have some minerals that nobody knows even yet.
Sure.
So it would be very important to find those areas and make studies, and if there is an opportunity for mining. So mining is one field. Otherwise, I think we don't, as a state, we don't ask universities do this or that. Universities and research centers in Finland, they have to choose their own field of cooperation. We can give recommendations and ideas, but then at the end of the day, it's up to the centers, research centers, universities to make it, implement it and make it in practice.
أطلقت فنلندا سنة 2021 استراتيجيتها تجاه إفريقيا. كيف تندرج الجزائر ضمن هذه الرؤية؟
Yeah, our Africa strategy is actually a new change of thinking. We have had many cooperation programs with different African countries, but now we want to develop real partnership on equal level. And in our Africa strategy, actually no single country is mentioned. It's a more general strategy, and based on the Agenda 2030 of the United Nations on sustainable development, but also the African own strategy 2063, the way we want it. I mean, there is a lot of opportunities there, but we don't single out different countries. Each and one of African countries have their own merits, and we are happy to be here since 1962, and we have long traditional relations. So I look forward that there's a lot of opportunities of developing this partnership to new levels.
في ظل التغيرات الجيوسياسية والأمنية خاصة في منطقة الساحل والصحراء ومنطقة الشرق الأوسط، كيف تنظر فنلندا لهذه التغيرات الدولية؟
There's a lot of shared interests in those regions that you mentioned. In particular, Sahel, we appreciate the expertise and knowledge of Algeria in the matters in Sahel area. We appreciate the mediation efforts that Algeria has done, particularly in Mali, but also other countries. And now we are as concerned as Algeria is of the recent developments in some Sahelian countries. And we want to cooperate as member of the European Union together with Algeria to improve the conditions. On Middle East, of course, we all share the concern of what's going on in Gaza and other developments. And Finland is very convinced of the two-state solutions where Israel and Palestine could live together. Now it looks very difficult, but this is the aim where the international community has to force Israel. We have had, Palestine has been our target, cooperation target for 25 years. We have an embassy in Ramallah, and we have had big cooperation agencies, for instance, in the field of education. But now, because there was no humanitarian need before, Palestine was developing like a normal state. But now the first and foremost is to address the humanitarian needs in Palestine, particularly in Gaza region. And this is where the Finland is now targeting its work.
تعد الثقافة أداة فعالة لتعزيز التفاهم بين الشعوب. ما هي أبرز المبادرات الثقافية بين البلدين؟
Finnish cultural diplomacy is developing. I'm not satisfied of the finances and funds that we have, but we do what we can. And I'm very proud about the Finland Maghreb exposition. It was exhibition that we showed in Algeria, but also in other Maghreb countries. Our bilateral relations with Algeria, how they had been developing, what are the specific links, like Mohammed Deep here, who had been living in Finland, and then also we have been participating to the European Union film and music festivals. Last year, 2024, we had Trio Cantara, jazz trio. There was piano and drums from Finland and a violinist from Algeria, and that was really a beautiful group of music. Then also in the film festival this year in May, we had Once Upon There Was a Forest, which was a film on how should we maintain our forests so that also our children could have their forests and so forth. We have also a Finnish lady, Stina, who is a very famous singer and musician in Finland. But the main interest in Algeria is that she is singing in Kabyle. Really? And she was here in 2015 on a tour, and on a very popular tour. So all these very practical examples shows that there is a lot of activities, even if we don't have any state managed cultural program for the time being.
During your previous visits to Algeria and its wilayas, were there any particular tradition, place, or encounter that stood out to you most?
But everywhere I go, it's always the friendship of the people, the hospitality of the people. You see only smiling faces. And then, of course, the cultural differences in different areas, say Sidi Belabes or Setif, or then Kabylia is always very different. We have been to Tizi Ouzou and Bezaya, and there you have the colored dresses, and that reminds me a lot of the Finnish indigenous people called the Samis.
The Sami.
The Sami people who have also very colored clothing and also otherwise very rich culture that they have. Then, of course, in every corner you have also different culture on food. And food, Algerian food is very close to my mouth.
What's your favorite traditional dish?
I like sardines. Sardines sherba, sardines made in different ways.
Yeah.
And of course, couscous is something special.
Delicious.
And the fruit, fresh fruit, excellent. And then, of course, the vegetables also you can make different kind of warm meals and cold meals, salads, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Have you learned any Algerian word?
Shukran.
Shukran.
Dalat. It's the watermelon.
Yeah.
Dalat.
Dala. Yeah.
Dala. Sorry.
Dala.
The language is difficult because then you have to pronounce it properly. That's
سعادة السفير كلمة أخيرة.
Thank you very much for coming to our house.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for this discussion. And we look forward to continue improving the relations between our two peoples and two countries. And it's always an opportunity. I have been now here for 2 years, and I have 2 years more to go. And of course, the Algerian embassy in Helsinki is our best partner. We are in the same boat.
Yeah.
To work for the better relations.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this valuable insight. We wish you a great stay here in Algeria and success in your diplomatic mission. وبهذا مشاهدينا الكرام نصل إلى ختام هذا الحوار الخاص. شكرا جزيلا لكم وإلى اللقاء.